Just wait, cause it's all in the time ring. Just wait, cause it's all in the time ring. Just wait, cause it's all in the time ring. Just wait, cause it's all. Yeah, I'm back again. I just ran out of memory, but that's okay. Like I said before, what they take, you see what I'm saying? What they take, I'll end up getting back, and in return, in a spiritual form. You know, so it's like, you know, saying over the years, the course of years that have been happening, you know, saying God has magnified my ability. You know, saying it's like everything that goes out. You know, that's how I found out the true nature of the spiritual realm. Is that everything that I had dished out or that I didn't receive from, my reward in heaven is greater than the reward that I receive on earth. You see what I'm saying? I get back this sensation. And when I found this out, you see what I'm saying? I said, damn, I don't have anything to be worried about. You know, I was like, why am I panicking? Because I lost so much. You see what I'm saying? I lost a tremendous amount, you know, and I was like, okay, what was taken is what God restores, even though they got it. You know what I'm saying? Majority of the people got it. You see what I'm saying? And they did that deceitfully. You see what I'm saying? A lot of them did it deceitfully, except for a few of them that I did let out. And I was just trying to make a name for myself, get myself spread out a bit. So I said, I'm going to let out a few of them. And I let a few of them out. But you see what I'm saying? But a lot of them, you know what I'm saying, what I dish out, you see what I'm saying? I got back something else different. I got back as spiritual because of the upliftment of people. You know what I'm saying? That's like, you know what I'm saying? I think that from my experience, I believe that God favors that. And you know what I'm saying? I think that's what a lot of people are trying to do, is trying to get to the aspect where they uplift people. I think that's why you see why people want to help people. And the word good service, I'll get on those. Well, I probably won't talk about it because it's a really deep subject when I talk about service or good service or the service being done. You know what I'm saying? That's what I found. But I found something else in return. And this was shortly after, what year? About 2000. That had been about 2008, 2009. Because 2009 I started changing. And I found out that, you know what I'm saying, I didn't have to worry anymore. I didn't have to feel bad about myself anymore. I didn't have to feel like that I was the worst dude on the planet, you know, that, you know what I'm saying, because I didn't obey somebody else's rules, you know what I'm saying, that I didn't fit in, or that I didn't have this posture or this culture in America, or this so-called black culture in America and this so-called white culture in America. You know, I didn't have to fit into that in order for God to appreciate or love me. You see what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? That's why I talk about organization. I didn't have to join any organization. I didn't have to even be a Christian. I didn't have to be a Mormon. I didn't have to be a Catholic. I didn't have to be a Muslim in order for God to show me what he wanted to show me. You see what I'm saying? Like right now, you know what I'm saying, the abilities that has been given me is beyond belief. You see, a lot of the musicians out there, the artists, they think I'm him. This is why they watch me every day. You see what I'm saying? Just like here. You see what I'm saying? This is because your mother told you to do that. You see what I'm saying? You think that by following this, that makes you right, or that makes you blessed, or that makes you unto the children of Israel. But what did I just say here? And I started this off before I made my first video just now, which is right here. And this is what I just said. You know what I'm saying? This is how detailed, you know what I'm saying, I've read this book. You know, and I followed a lot of things here. And I'll show you exactly what I'm talking about. This is what I just read here. Right here. It says, but when he saw many of the Pharisees and the Sadducees coming to baptism, he said to them, brood of vipers, who warned you to flee from the wrath to come? Therefore bear fruits worthy of repentance. And do not think to say to yourselves, we have Abraham as our father. For I say unto you, God is able to raise up children to Abraham from these stones. See? And he's talking about it right here. Even now the axe is laid to the root of the trees. Therefore every tree which does not bear good fruit is cut down and thrown into the fire. You see what I'm saying? See, I've studied this book. You see? And I can find different parts that match up. I went through it in and out this book. So a lot of the times, you see what I'm saying, when we think we're doing right, sometimes we're doing wrong. We do what we think seems to be right. And a lot of people think I'm religious from reading this. No, it's just, I'm not religious. Like I said, I'm not a Christian. I didn't have to join any organization to get any insight on this. You see what I'm saying? And that's true. You get people, saying they think that they cop a blessing or get something from you to feel like they're getting next to God. You see what I'm saying? And what I just read to you is what he said to the Pharisees and Sadducees: do not think to call yourselves children of Abraham. For I can raise up these little children and make them into that they be the children of Abraham. You see, and this is why I talked about in my video over here. You got a group of people screaming that they're the chosen children of Israel. You got people over here screaming they're the chosen children of Israel, and they don't get along with each other. You see what I'm saying? Because they all want the blessing. They want the blessing over here. They want the blessing over there. They want the blessing back here. They even want my blessing. You know what I'm saying? And I don't even deal with them. You know what I'm saying? They want what's mine. And this is why people do that. It's just so they can feel blessed. And what I tell you is don't even, feel bad. Don't feel bad when if you feel like God is not blessing you, stop feeling bad. You see what I'm saying? That, you have to know within yourself that God is an awesome God. That this whole spiritual construct sees you. You know what I'm saying? You're going to have some good times. You're going to have some bad times. That's just how life is. You're going to go through this thing called a supplication. We all go through it. You know what I'm saying? Each and every last person I've seen has had a supplication or something. Something that they went through that mentally disfigured them or tore them down. You know what I'm saying? And we all have had that. And some of us are still going through it. I'm still going through a little bit of it, so my thing is do right by each other, and and know what righteousness is and know what right is. And this is why I make these videos. This is why I talk about this book so much, because there's so much information, and there's another verse, so I'm not going to get on it today. There's a whole lot of stuff that I can talk about here, that gets, that's very interesting. And like I said, this book is very interesting to me. Because of the stories that it tells and the relation to the stories to our everyday life, And so, around 2004, 5, and 6, people were calling me religious, I wasn't religious. Hell, I never went to church. I just read a lot, I crept up in my truck, back corner of my truck, and I just started reading. I just started trying to figure out, what was going on. And and from reading these stories, I had got some deep insight. So these stories, my experience, I'm sharing it with you. I'm sharing it with all of you. You see what I'm saying? Because this is an experience for me, something I learned along the way. And that's not all I learned. I learned plenty of shit, going all the way down through this book, from Genesis to Exodus. And man, there's so much information in here, but this is what I wanted to share with you, and share with a lot of people. Is that, don't be like the, we never learn the lessons, we never learned we try to follow this, there's people out here right now, if you read the story about David and Goliath, I bullshit you not. There's motherfuckers right now that is so endowed with the story of David and Goliath, and they like church members, right? These motherfuckers, they see you. I stand 6 feet 3 inches tall, or it could be a motherfucker that stands 6'6" or 6'7". Hell, he can even be 7 feet. You take a motherfucker that's like 5'2", 5'1". He, in his mind, he think he David fighting Goliath. You see what I'm saying? And motherfuckers think like that just by reading this. You see what I'm saying? But never learning the lessons from it. And this is how we teach our scriptorial reading, because you got motherfuckers that walk around that think they're Samson. You got bitches out here. Well, pardon my word, bitch. But you got women that think that they're Delilah. You know what I'm saying? For real. You even go to the book of Esther. You got women out here that think that they're Esther. You know what I'm saying? You can talk about Adam. You know what I'm saying? You got people that think that they're Adam. You got women that think that they're actually Eve. You see what I'm saying? And they act like these characters of the Bible. You see what I'm saying? So you have to be careful. You know what I'm saying? And you know what I'm saying? Like right now, we got a lot of people right now. When you talk about Jacob marries Leah and Rachel, you see what I'm saying? Oh man, running out of memory again. Okay, you got motherfuckers. Okay, let me make it quick. Okay, it says Jacob marries Leah and Rachel. You got motherfuckers right now trying to apprehend two wives and can't understand why one wife don't get along with another. You see what I'm saying? Because they trying to follow what Jacob did. You see what I'm saying? If Jacob sinned, then what, and didn't get away with it, what the hell makes you think if you did the same thing Jacob do, you know what I'm saying? What makes you think you gonna get away with it? You see what I'm saying? But this is how, you know what I'm saying, motherfuckers believe. They believe that by reading the story, and because of what a lot of churches teach, they think they're Jacob. They think they're David of the Bible. Some people even think they're Solomon. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, you know what I'm saying? You know, I meet a guy that's smaller than me. He think I'm Goliath. You know what I'm saying? Or he think I'm the devil. He thinks he thinks that in his mind that he's actually fighting God's battle against me. You see what I'm saying? There's people that think like that. You see what I'm saying? And you have to be careful. You see what I'm saying? They, for once, can't take the fact or the ideology that God actually loves you. You know what I'm saying? Or God is protecting you, or God is for you. They don't want to hear that. You know what I'm saying? That God for you is like you become an enemy. You know, and the way they teach this stuff, sometimes, you know what I'm saying? You got like right now how we got the children of the tribe split up. You know what I'm saying? And there's people right now that act like Benjamin, Judah. You see what I'm saying? And you can't tell them apart. You know what I'm saying? Motherfuckers trying to sell you into slavery. You know what I'm saying? Just like they sold Joseph. You see what I'm saying? And think that that's right. And think and never wonder why we can't move past shit. Because we're still stuck here. We don't learn shit from here. You see what I'm saying? We teach the stories, but we don't never learn from the stories. You see what I'm saying? That's why we have a problem in America progressing forward. Because everybody want to be God. Everybody want to be Jesus Christ. Everybody want to be Jacob. Everybody want to be the 12 tribes of Israel. Everybody want to be Samson, Solomon. Everybody want to be just about every figure. Joseph. Motherfuckers act like they Joseph. You know what I'm saying? Planting flowers and shit. You know what I'm saying? And you know what I'm saying? And like right now, you know what I'm saying? Not right now, a few years ago, a motherfucker looked at me like I was Goliath. You know what I'm saying? He was like David. He just had to take me out with the slingshot. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, Lord, what the hell? What the hell? You know what I'm saying? That's why I always tell the story about the guy who was sitting down. He comes out of his house one day. You know what I'm saying? He goes in the park. He goes to Subway. You know, I always tell this story. I probably can't tell it that good now, but I tell it, you know what I'm saying, when I'm on the phone talking to people. And it's a story that I tell. You know, he goes to the park. He goes, you know what I'm saying, and just enjoying his day. And one day, he don't know what the hell going on. He enjoying the Subway sandwich, sitting in the park eating. And then one day, somebody comes and clocks him in the head with a guy. He just gets hits in the head with a damn brick. Dropped the sandwich. You know what I'm saying? Then drop the soda, you know what I'm saying? Motherfucking Subway sandwich about what? $8.99? You know what I'm saying? Dropped it, and then, you know what I'm saying? Finally, I got a big web, touch his back of the head. Somebody done clocked him in the head, in the back of the head with a brick. He don't know what the fuck going on. All he know, he got hit with a brick. Fucked this whole day up. You see what I'm saying? And then he turn around, some motherfucker that think that he's David, I'm Goliath, or the motherfucker was Goliath. He went and said, okay, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna hit the motherfucker in the head with a brick. You see what I'm saying? And motherfuckers think like this because they actually think that they're fighting for God. You know what I'm saying? They actually think that shit. And you have to be careful about who you deal with. You see what I'm saying? And motherfuckers try to take you out because of what this says. You see what I'm saying? They read it, but we never learn the lessons from it. You know what I'm saying? We never learn the true lessons from, you know what I'm saying, the bad things and the good things. You know what I'm saying? Just like Jacob and Esau, we never learn the true meaning of the story. And I'm here to put the true meaning of the story out, you know what I'm saying, and let it be known, you know. And we see this type of behavior in our families every single day between the story of Jacob and Esau. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's an all black family, whether it's an all white family, whether it's a all Hispanic family or all Asian family, you know what I'm saying? It could be Italian mafioso family. You know what I'm saying? You see this type of behavior everywhere, in between mothers and fathers. You see it in between older brothers and younger brothers, why they can't get along, why they fighting each other constantly all the time. We see this, and this is one story that depicts that. And then we ask, I don't know what's wrong with him. Okay, pick this book up. You know what I'm saying? Pick up Genesis. Where'd it go? Damn it, I lost my page. Nope. Where is it? Right here. Genesis 25. You know what I'm saying? Just pick up Genesis chapter 25. And this will tell you, you know what I'm saying, all about that. You know what I'm saying, what your sons go through, what they're dealing with right now. You see what I'm saying about the blessings and things of that nature. You see what I'm saying? Now, I can understand there's one thing also, whether, you know what I'm saying, the mother, you know what I'm saying, a lot of single mother homes, a lot of the kids, the sons, the daughters, a lot of them have different fathers. You know, so they all had the same mother, but they had different fathers. You know what I'm saying? Whatever child that is, you see what I'm saying? Whatever child, you know what I'm saying? This is where we make the mistake too. You know, in a lot of families is that, you know what I'm saying, if you're a single mother and all your children are by different baby daddies, each one of those childs has a different offset because they all have different fathers. That's where their blessings come from. You see what I'm saying? So you can't rely on the older son baby daddy if the father is different. You know what I'm saying? You have to rely on that baby daddy for that particular child. You see what I'm saying? That's how it has to be done. Because that's where the blessings, you can't say, okay, take a blessing from me and then give it to the other child. Okay, you see what I'm saying? If you take my blessing, the blessing I want to give to my son, and you give it to another child, you see what I'm saying? How's my son going to feel? He's going to feel like Esau. See what I'm saying? He's going to feel like, he's going to say the same thing. Father, how come you ain't blessed me? You see what I'm saying? Father, how come you haven't reserved anything for me? You see what I'm saying? Because mother thought that, just like in here, Rebecca, you see what I'm saying, dressed them up as Esau. Because mother thought that your blessing should be your brother's blessing. Your mother thought that your socks should be your brother's socks. That's how come you didn't receive your blessing. It's not that he didn't send it. It's not that he didn't give it. You see? And that's a problem too with women. Women think that way constantly, based upon security and insecurity. Basically, secure and insecure. Insecure thought, both simultaneously working at the same time within the female mind. You see what I'm saying? And that's why it's very important, you know what I'm saying, a lot of y'all women chastise these men about with what they can do or how they support and things of that nature, because you're always looking where the blessing is. You see what I'm saying? And that's true story. Whether you are in the entertainment industry or whether you're just a woman walking around here, you always looking where the blessing is and how you can get it. That's exactly what the mother of Jacob did. You see what I'm saying? She went in there, overheard them saying how Isaac was going to bless Esau. Mothers, cut that shit out. You see what I'm saying? Stop that. Because once you do that, you're going to make enemies. You're going to make either your older brother hate the younger brother, or the younger brother is going to hate the older brother. And then you're going to sit back and say, I don't know why they're fighting. You say it all. Y'all say this in families all the time. I don't know why they're fighting. You know good and damn well why. It was a phrase that I used to say back then. I said, anytime something happened, just ask your wife. She knows. And then this is the problem with women. Every single problem that comes up is a woman right there smack in the middle of it. Just like with this story. Now, what did Rebecca do? Dead smack in the middle of it. You see what I'm saying? And so that's why we have today, when people say the mother goddess, or you talk about the father goddess, you know, so no one gives father the credit because they don't like father's son, but they all love mother's son, but they give mama all the credit. This is why females think that they should deserve all the credit worldwide under feminicity. You see what I'm saying? Because of this right here. See, like I said, some people in this world, they think that they're Rebecca's. They'll read the story and never learn the lesson from it. Be like, that's the right thing to do. That's not the right thing to do. You're going to start a war, you know what I'm saying, between two brothers, between two blood-related brothers. And that's what you see happening when you read all about Esau, Jacob. You see two brothers fighting each other. How can you make peace in between the two? First, we got to cut all the bullshit that the woman is doing. We got to get rid of that shit and throw it out. You see what I'm saying? Because that's causing me to hate my brother. And I don't want to hate my brother. That's causing my brother to hate me. And I don't want my brother to hate me. And I'm pretty sure he doesn't want to hate me. You see what I'm saying? So, what do? And we talk about solutions to problems. Man, we got a solution right here. You see what I'm saying? And we'll come up with all these formulas, these strategies, talking about, you know what I'm saying, we've been fighting domestic violence. You mean to tell me domestic violence been going on, you know what I'm saying, for so long and no one came up with the true remedy? You talking about racism in this country, been going on for so long and nobody ain't came up with the true vitamin? We must be some blind motherfuckers and not to come up with something. You see what I'm saying? It's right here. The answer is right here. You see what I'm saying? And people look at me, Tony, how you're so smart. You know what I'm saying? I'm not the smartest motherfucker out here. You know what I'm saying? It's right here. You see? And another problem is we get the pretend people. You know, they hear what I'm saying. They say, okay, now we've got a solution. Okay, how come you didn't come up with the solution 75 years ago? You know? And then you'll end up doing something false. Another scheme, like right here, what Jacob was doing to his older brother. You see what I'm saying? Just to get publicity. You know what I'm saying? You do that, where you think the ultimate blessing is going to go. It's not going to go to you. It's going to go back to your brother. You see what I'm saying? Because God is a God that he should not lie. And they see everything. You know what I'm saying? They know who did what. Whether you want to try and prove and say that your brother didn't do it, or you want to try and say that I didn't do it, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Because that's where my blessing comes from. You see what I'm saying? And you know what I'm saying? And having the understanding of the spiritual parts, that's what I really fell in love with. I fell in love with the spiritual parts. And so, like, when it comes to this whole music thing, people think I'm spiritually dead. They think that, you know what I'm saying, because I haven't worked on anything. You know what I'm saying? I've been given the power, you know what I'm saying, to overcome any obstacle right now. You know what I'm saying? Just like that, the number one artist y'all just put out, y'all wanted me to show. Y'all didn't tell me about that. But I think you guys wanted me to stumble upon it because you kept putting the various names in the video. And it's like right now, I have been given the power to overcome that. Up here, mindfully, soulfully, and heartfully. You see what I'm saying? And so people think that I'm spiritually dead. And I tell them, why would you think that? You see what I'm saying? Because I'm not bitter. Because I stopped doing it. You see, I stopped doing it because people were snatching it. You know, I stopped doing it because every time I come up with something creative or an idea, you know what I'm saying, people snatch it like their own, you know, and I end up going without. And I got tired of going without like that, you know what I'm saying, so I stopped doing it. You know, it's like I'm putting a halt to it until, you know what I'm saying, we can sit down and come to a certain understanding with the people who are doing that, you know what I'm saying, who are snatching them, until we can come to a say, hey man, you got to stop that. You know, so you jeopardizing me. You see, you setting us up for, we setting ourselves up for destruction in the long run. This is how come I don't agree with a lot of the programs that are out there, as to what people putting certain programs out. You know, and they ask me, how come you don't support this? Because it's incorrect. You know, I know it's incorrect. You know, it's something that, you know what I'm saying, I don't wish was, oh, he's hating. No, this shit is incorrect. This shit ain't right. You know what I'm saying? For the simple fact that you would call me a hater. I know definitely then it ain't correct. You know, so it's a lot of incorrect things that we are doing, and we're going about it the wrong way. And so this is why I talk about the blessings of Esau and Jacob. You know, I talk about this story so much, you know what I'm saying, and people wonder why I talk about this story so much, because this story says a lot, you know what I'm saying. You know, saying this also says in the scriptures that we all sin from our youth. You know, Jacob and Esau was a young man when this happened. Most of the simple problems in our life happen from when we are at a young man. We keep judging a man from the things he did at 15 years old all the way up until he's 35, 40, 50. Like, you ain't forgiven. The dude 50 years old, you still hanging on. You see what I'm saying? It's like, come on. And that's another thing of what our problem is. You know, so we hold on to more bullshit trying to set a person up for accusations. You see what I'm saying? An accusation is to accuse a man before the Father. Same thing the devil was trying to do to Job, is to accuse him before the Father and make him look stupid and foolish and say, you know what I'm saying, curse him. And then try to get Job said, I'll make him cuss you to your face. You see what I'm saying? Things of that nature. You see? And Job was an upright man, you know. And so this is good information to know. You know, this is really, really good information. And people ask me, so why do you do the things that you do? Why do you speak the things that, oh, Tony, you shouldn't speak like that. But I do. I speak about it anyway. You know what I'm saying? The hell with it. But these are some really good stories. And that's why you see the chastisement against Israel, which is the younger son. You also see chastisement against Esau, which is the other son. You know, and when we get over to the New Testament, you hear Christ talk about all have sinned and fell short of the glory of God. You see what I'm saying? So, you know what I'm saying? And this is a really good story. And there's other parts that I want to talk about in here too. This is just one. You know what I'm saying? The other one I talked about yesterday, I talked about the older brother having it all. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes you talk about the younger brother too, because the younger brother gets lost. You know what I'm saying? Even if the older brother's receiving it, because he feel like he don't have nowhere to build. You see what I'm saying? And men, when they get older, you know what I'm saying, that's what they do. They get bold and they start to go on their own and they build their own things. It's just a natural man phenomenon. You know, that's how God made us. You see what I'm saying? And so, you know what I'm saying? And sometimes, you know what I'm saying, if the older brother gets blessed and the younger brother don't get blessed, you know what I'm saying, the younger brother is out there like, you know, he just totally lost. He don't want to hear nobody. You know what I'm saying? He want to do his own thing, and he feel like everybody keep trying to capture him. He's like, you know, I don't want to be here, you know. But what I tell those people, those sons, you know what I'm saying, that are like that, whether you're the oldest son and feel like that, or whether you're the youngest son and feel like that, just remove your mind from it. You know, go here, you know what I'm saying, go to this book, you know what I'm saying, just start reading, you know what I'm saying, do some of the things that you are interested in. Don't worry about how God is blessing your brother. What is, and what is not, you know. And just because your father's not blessing you right now doesn't mean that you are not going to receive one, or that it's not going to come back around to you. You know what I'm saying? Just keep working on what you're working on. And, you know, as it said in the New Testament, you know, there shall be two in the field working, one should be taken and the other left behind. And if one is taken and the other is left behind, you see what I'm saying? He said, let them still work. You know what I'm saying? Let them work in the field. You know what I'm saying? One will be taken and the other left behind. You see what I'm saying? And then we read the story of Jacob. You see what I'm saying? One will be blessed and the other will be cursed. But if you feel like you cursed, just keep doing what you're doing. You see what I'm saying? Try to obey, you know what I'm saying? Try to obey the law. Try to your best effort to obey whatever it is that you're needing to obey. Try not to get yourself into trouble. But, you know what I'm saying, be creative, you know what I'm saying, master something, you know what I'm saying, get into something, whatever it is that you like to do, whether it's, you know what I'm saying, you go to school to be a masseuse, you know what I'm saying, master your masseuse, you know what I'm saying, if you go to school to be an architect, master your architectural work, or, you know what I'm saying, like if you're in music, you know, master your music abilities, you know, if you're into, what else is there, anything else, any profession out there, if you're a doctor, lawyer, you know what I'm saying, magnify your abilities as to being a doctor or a lawyer. You know, don't worry about how your father is blessing your brother. You know what I'm saying? Eventually it come back around to you. You know what I'm saying? But in the meanwhile, keep yourself straight. You know what I'm saying? Keep everything that you need. You know what I'm saying? Make sure you follow the rules, you know what I'm saying, when it comes to the spiritual commandments. And keep on going. You know what I'm saying? Just because all the attention ain't on you don't mean that the attention is not going to come back around. You know what I'm saying? Because once you get done blessing your brother, guess where he's coming next? Coming to you. So keep yourself up, and whatever it is that you want to learn, keep learning it. Like I said, whether you the older brother that feel like nobody gives a damn, or whether you the youngest brother and don't feel a damn, you know what I'm saying? Because I had a couple of cousins that do that, you know what I'm saying? And you know what I'm saying, for my the youngest one, you know what I'm saying, which is my cousin, it's like, you know what I'm saying, I used to see y'all fight all the time. But you know what I'm saying, don't feel bad about stuff like that. You see what I'm saying? Don't worry about what your brother's doing and what your father's doing. Just work, you know what I'm saying? When that happens, work on you. Find something that you love to do. You see what I'm saying? If you got somebody that you love, cling to them more and show her how great a love that you are, and show them that that affects you, and that you hear and say, hey, you know, look, you know what I'm saying, I feel messed up, but I'm happy and thankful for what I got. You here with me. You know what I'm saying? And look what I got. You know what I'm saying? I don't have to feel guilty or bad, and you don't. You know what I'm saying? Don't worry about how your father's blessing the oldest son. You know what I'm saying? Or even if it's the oldest son, you know what I'm saying? Don't worry about how your father is blessing the youngest son. You know what I'm saying? Let what be. You see what I'm saying? If you're the oldest son and you feel that the youngest brother is getting blessed, you know what I'm saying? Just, you know what I'm saying? You ain't gotta, you know what I'm saying? Clean to that, you know what I'm saying? Clean, you know what I'm saying? Look at what you guys sit down, orchestrate, and put it together, because eventually the blessing's gonna come back around. But as long as you maintain, because that's what it's about, to maintain, to not give up your faith, to maintain. You see what I'm saying? That's what it's about. That's why you always hear me talk about maintain back in the day, or about around 2007 or 2008. I was talking about maintain, or hell, even before that, I was talking about maintain, because it's about maintaining. You see what I'm saying? You got to maintain, even if you go through the worst part. Try your best to maintain. So at the day of your receiving, because like I said, that blessing's going, whether you're the oldest child or the youngest child, that blessing's going to come back around. He's coming back around. You know what I mean? You see what I'm saying? See, he might have blessed your brother before you, but he ain't forgot about you. He coming back. That blessing is coming back. So keep yourself up. Whatever it is that you are studying, if you're in college, keep going. Keep doing what you were doing, man. You see what I'm saying? Don't worry about the other shit. If you see God blessing me, don't worry about God blessing me. You know what I'm saying? What God got for me is what God got for me. You see what I'm saying? It ain't none of your concern. If God bless you, it ain't none of my concern. I can't tell God how to bless you and what to give you and what he shouldn't give you. You see what I'm saying? That is between you and God. That's between you and the Almighty. It ain't got nothing to do with me. That's between you and him. You see what I'm saying? So, you know what I'm saying? So for whether like I said, whether you're the oldest child or the youngest child, don't feel bad. You know what I'm saying? Because you feel like God is not blessing you. That blessing is going to come back. You know what I'm saying? It may take 5 years. It may even take, it took me 1.3 years. It could take in between 3. It can be the next 15 minutes. You know what I'm saying? It can be the next 15 minutes or the next 15 years. But keep doing what you're doing. You see what I'm saying? Keep working. You see what I'm saying? The same things they told Malcolm X. Keep going. Keep doing what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? Just because you see him, don't fix yourself up. You need to compete with him. Older brother, stop competing with your younger brother. Younger brother, stop competing with your older brother. You don't need to do that. You're brothers. You know what I'm saying? If anything, you come in together on something. You know what I'm saying? That's why you always see me do this. You know what I'm saying? Unity. You know? And, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, I can't stress enough about how much this, you know what I'm saying? I can't believe that people won't explain this story. You see what I'm saying? It's a lot to learn from here. You know, it's a lot. It's a hell of a lot to learn from these stories. You know, and I don't talk about it into regards of degrading the children of Israel. You see what I'm saying? And things of that nature. It's just that, you know what I'm saying, Israel did a lot of shit too. You know what I'm saying? They did a lot of sinful shit. You know, a lot of fucked up shit. You know, even including Jacob. You know, hell, David did some fucked up shit. You know, so it's not saying that, you know what I'm saying, everybody in here did some fucked up shit. You know what I'm saying? Even including Esau, the Edomites and all. You know, they all did some fucked up shit. But then again, at the end of the day, it's just still about blessing. You see what I'm saying? And that's why I tell people my biggest thing is to do right by people. You know, at the end of the day, make sure you do right by that person. You know, even if you don't like them, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, 9 times out of 10 it's about blessing, then degrading another man, and then the whole world will love one man and despise the other. You see what I'm saying? But God will love him. You know what I'm saying? The whole world, it's just like the whole world can hate me. You know what I'm saying? If the whole world hate me, it doesn't mean that God hates me. You see what I'm saying? It doesn't mean that the spiritual realm hates me. You see what I'm saying? People hate me. You know what I'm saying? People dislike me. But just because they dislike me, I'm not validated by what they say. You see what I'm saying? That's why I told the story about dislike. You know what I'm saying? If I dislike you, if I dislike you, it's not your problem that I dislike you, because you're not the one holding the dislike. You see what I'm saying? I would actually be the one holding this. The problem would be with me. You see? Because I'm the one holding the grudge or the dislike. You see? Rather than you. You see? In order for you to find out that I dislike you, I have to tell you. You see what I'm saying? Because if you just automatically had that problem and knowing that problem with me, then how would you know it otherwise me not telling you, or otherwise me telling you that I dislike you. You see what I'm saying? So if a person says he dislikes me, it's not my problem. You know, it's not my problem whether he likes me or dislikes me. So these are good stories, and I hope everybody learns something from them. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I'm feeling pretty good today, and I love talking about this stuff, you know. This is a really good book. It's a lot to learn from, you know. And that's why I say do right by, you know, so if you're a younger brother, do right by your older brother. If you're an older brother, do right by your younger brother. You know, you don't need to try and enslave anybody. You don't need to try, you know what I'm saying, it's your brother. You know what I'm saying? So, and we all do different things, you know. All my brothers in my family, you know, all my cousins, all my male cousins, I call them brothers, you know what I'm saying? Because that's what they are. They're my brothers, you know what I'm saying? Regardless of the fact, each and every last one of us, we all do different things, and we are all good at different things, you know what I'm saying? The one thing that everybody knows me by is music and beats and rhymes and stuff like that. That was one thing I was really, really good at, you know. And there's other people right now, you know what I'm saying, they're good at farming, cropping, Mississippi, and you know what I'm saying, stuff like, I'm no good at that shit. There's family members right now who can mechanic on shit. You know, they can take a whole engine apart. You know what I'm saying? I can't even, you know, so I have trouble getting the alternator off the motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? But there's just certain things that, you know what I'm saying, all us brothers, we all have something in common. And that, what we all have in common is that we are all good at something. You know, whether you're good at music, whether you're good at being a mechanic, whether you're good at being a doctor or a veterinarian or pediatrician or nutrition or pharmacist or whatever it is, you know what I'm saying? And all the males in our family, we're all brothers, you know what I'm saying, including uncles. You see what I'm saying? There's like, you know what I'm saying, like some of the males in our family, they can shoot guns with precision. I can't do that unless I'm playing a video game. It ain't that I can't shoot a gun, I can't shoot it with precision. You know what I'm saying? They can shoot cans and bottles. I can't do that shit. You know what I'm saying? From a long distance. You know what I'm saying? I probably shoot everybody to field the bird by accident. You know what I'm saying? But because I don't have good aim like that. You know what I'm saying? And they can take a whole gun apart, tell you what type of every gun is out there, because that's what they're into. You know? And, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, whatever it is that you into, you feel like that, do what you do. Study what you study, man. And stop trying to feel like that. And even the sisters out there, sisters, stop being jealous of your brothers. You know what I'm saying? Because your brother is more vibrant than you. And it's a proven fact that men are stronger than females. Stop being jealous of the man. You know what I'm saying? The man ain't out to get you. You know what I'm saying? Everything is just like a brother like me. He's out to I'm not out to get you. I never was out to get you. You see what I'm saying? And some women think that of men, but when it comes to, I mean, some men do, you know what I'm saying? They just ignorant men, you know, you don't need to deal with them, you know what I'm saying? But you I'm not out to get you. I'm not out to get anything from you. I'm not out to rob you. I'm not out to degrade you as a woman. You see what I'm saying? So stop feeling jealous. You see what I'm saying? You don't have no reason, because I met a lot of women like that. You have no reason. You feel like that because you feel like Esau. That's why you feel like that. You feel like the Esau. You feel like that I've been given more blessing than you, and I keep telling you, man, set your mind to something. And that's what you hear me say, is set your mind to whatever it is that you do. I say every time you see me, every time you saw me back then, what was I doing? Working on what I love to do. And what was it that I love to do? Music. You see what I'm saying? I love to do music, and I still do to this day. You know, so that's why I tell you, set your mind to whatever it is. You know what I'm saying? If you don't like the job that you're working, set your mind to what it is that you actually really want to do. Stuff that you enjoy doing. You know what I'm saying? Stuff that God put on your heart to do. That's what you sit down and do. You see what I'm saying? Don't worry about how God is blessing your brother or some other person and say, oh, he's got it. The hell with them. You know what I'm saying? You're not here to be validated by them. You know what I'm saying? Only thing you need to be worried about is the Creator, the Spirit, and the Almighty. That's it. You know what I'm saying? Anything else is irrelevant. You don't need my validation. You don't need nobody else's. You know what I'm saying? So this is a good story. The story of between Jacob and Esau is a really, really good story. And I'm going to cut this video short because I'm running out of memory. I ain't gonna get some more so I can make more of these videos. And you know what I'm saying, this is some really good stuff, and I enjoy talking about it. And I hope y'all, you know what I'm saying, if this video gets out, I hope someone got a good message out of it today. I hope someone heard what I said today. you know, and that's what it's about. It's about brotherhood, man, unity, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Stop doing each other wrong, man. You know what I'm saying? We not, you know what I'm saying, to one brother, to another brother, I'm not your enemy. You know, you may think I'm your enemy, but I'm not, you know. But that's only under the influence of the world that you actually could think that of me, you know, especially if I done a whole lot for you and yours, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, and I hope that someone gets a good get a good message out of this today. You know, let the wise minds be wise. He who has an ear, let him hear what the Spirit says. So, and that is it, y'all. This is your boy A, one of the baddest beat bankers in the land, one of the baddest lyricists in the land, one of the baddest brilliant artists and creativity, innovative out here, right from Kansas City, Kansas. It is October 14th. I don't know what time it is. 2:52 in the PM is when I'm ending all of this video talk. 2017, October 14, 2017 at 2:52 in the PM. And I am done, y'all. God bless everybody and stay strong.